Alright friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kristen and this is Growing Zone 9B. Alright, so in my last video I talked to you guys about my elderly neighbor, and I want to provide some clarification. I had one of my friends ask me, they said, oh, maybe your elderly neighbor just talked bad about people because maybe she was going through dementia or something like that. And I was like, let me back that up a second. No, that was not the case. I mean, yes, she may have had some dementia in her older life, but she was a negative energy from the very beginning. Like, literally, like her 20s, her 30s, she just became very bitter. She had, honestly, according to her, an abusive husband. I definitely can tell you that one of their oldest sons, he communicated with me. We still sometimes like text each other, just like, hey, what's up, that type of thing, just check in. He's a really great person, nice, but he had a lot of bad energy from his dad. His dad apparently was quite abusive, and so yeah, I mean, there might be some underlying, obviously, issues going on there, but the point is that this was a negative energy that was held within her from a very young age. And so that's why I was saying those vibrations, friends, and those words that you use and those languages are just so important, that we are just continuing to maintain our positive. So in more recent things, I don't know if you guys are aware, if you keep up with it, but listen, I talk about that we are in a spiritual battle as far as I'm concerned. And you have to arm yourself with the word. I know that I don't try, like, really my goal is not to try to push any like one religion on an individual or not, but I have a platform and I feel in my heart that this is something that I want to share with you guys. And you know, this is about my journey, and if you choose to participate with it or not, you know, obviously that's up to you. You can unsubscribe, you can you know, not watch this video, but at the end of the day, I just want to, you know, not only be the light, but represent what that light means to me. And so yeah, I do believe in a higher power. I do believe in Jesus. I do believe in God. I definitely believe that, you know, something other than us exists. I'm definitely down with the whole UFO and alien situation. I do not think that we are the center of the universe. I think that there is more than likely something else out there. Now, how far away that may or may not be, I feel like the universe is so just ever going and expanding that it would be just unrealistic of me personally to just believe in such isolation. But you know, I definitely think that there's a creator, and you know, I would love for you guys to find your way and, you know, believe in a higher power. But I am not offended by people who don't. Like, it's your walk, it's your journey. I'm not here to tell you you're right or wrong. I'm just sharing my path. And so part of that is, and I was talking to you guys about, you know, using your words and how words definitely have, you know, these vibrations. They can be positive, they can be negative. If you choose to believe in the study or not, Dr. Emoto, he had that book out there, Love Thyself. I showed it to you guys in the last video. And so that's what I'm saying. You have to arm yourself with knowledge. You cannot just sit back and just let someone else save you. And that's in any aspect. That's in prepping, that's in food, that's in, you know, you may need to be the light for someone else, and that's partially what I'm talking about. You have to lead the way through your love and through your path. Jesus was love, and I try to walk the path of Jesus. Not everybody, you know, has to believe that or be a part of that, but what I'm saying is that what I think we can all come to terms with is, whether you're Mother Teresa or you're the Great Buddha or whatever, like, or you're a monk, or you're like, there are many practices out there that represent light and love, and I think that that's important. Like, grasp the positives and move forward with that. Don't just focus on things that may be potentially negative or you know, not going in a direction of peace. All right, so I choose to arm myself with knowledge, right? You know, God in the Bible, religion talks about that. Religion talks about arming yourself with the word, right? With the word of God. Know the word of God. And while I definitely think that it's been manipulated, you know, the New King James Version, you know, that's been rewritten. While I don't think we have the true crux of what the Bible maybe originally said or meant, because what things meant then are not what things mean now, I think that we can get the gist of the meaning of what they were trying to get across. And a lot of it is great, good teachings. Again, be in the light, walk the path, help people heal. If, you know, your brother's struggling, you know, help them out. Have love. Don't go into things with hate. Like, I think that that's a really like important aspect, is just to be the love and the light, right? So part of doing that is arming ourselves with knowledge and education, right? Some people believe, and it's okay, you know, let's just say everybody's kind of got their own little perspective. And, you know, some people believe that Adam and Eve, they gained knowledge from eating the apple. And, you know, they got sent here to earth to serve out their punishment. Well, I don't know what fruit they ate, the fruit of knowledge, whatever that is. Like, I think God wants us to arm ourselves. I think the higher power wants us to be enlightened, because we need to have the knowledge as we move forward, moving into, you know, potentially end times or in times of struggle. I would definitely say right now we are in a spiritual warfare. I have told you guys this. This is amazing preparation for yourself regarding spiritual warfare and how the Bible actually relates to spiritual warfare. So here's this book. I highly recommend it. Now, this was not a cheap book. This book was around $45 when I bought it. I've had this book probably for at least 5 or 6 years. At minimum, and so it's a really good book. I definitely think that a lot of people that maybe feel lost and need some knowledge, I think that this might be a really good read for people who are looking for a more Christian religion type learning aspect. It's really just a beautiful layout. It gives you just a lot of knowledge. It's talks, like, gives you like little sections over here where they've kind of given you areas to kind of reflect on and what that means with like spiritual warfare. I just think it's an amazing book. So, you know, you got to arm yourself. Part of that is with knowledge. So one of my books that I have that I keep around, so if you guys are interested, go and check that out. I will do my best to make sure that maybe I try to put this somewhere in my video so that you guys can go and check that out. What I'm trying to say is that you have to build your knowledge base. It's like saying you're going to war, someone gives you a gun and a sword and you don't know how to use it. Why? Because you were never trained on how to actually understand the aspects of war, right? Now war's not so much like that. Now war is more representative of, like, I think more technology based. But again, if someone just sits you down in front of a keyboard and says, all right, we're gonna go to war, how are you gonna be able to defend yourself if you've never educated yourself on the other side, or you know what that might look like? And so that's why I encourage that book, is not to destruct your mind, but to educate you, so you know the battles that you're up against, you know what people will do, you know the distractions that would be there. I think that that's important. This is my journey. I'm not telling you what direction that you should go in. I am sharing with you the direction that I go in. Spirituality encompasses so many areas that I think that we kind of forget about all the stuff out there, and we just focus on one area or one religion. And so I think we have to arm ourselves in many religions. I think that that's why the world is kind of so diversified right now. You know, you have, you know, so many aspects out there of religion, and even negative energies per se, if that's how you choose to see it. And so we have to just be ready for anything that is coming our way, right? Obviously right now, you know, really focused on the book of Revelations. I think that it's really, you know, I think it's coming to fruition. We have the red heifers. I've kind of mentioned that in a previous video. I have quite a bit of religious books. I think these are things that are coming to fruition. Like I said, we have the Pope, who I have seen that they are like basically preparing for his death. Whether that's true or not, I know that he has pneumonia, he had bronchitis. He's definitely having, in a fair statement, he is definitely having some medical concerns. And so we may be looking at another pope. And so all these things come into play, especially with the turmoil that we are starting to see in the States. There are so many people losing their jobs. I mean, we talk about Doge and what they're doing to like cut back on spending and, you know, reckless spending and stuff like that. I am all about that, but look at it from this perspective too. That's a lot of jobs that are going to be lost, and I'm not saying that maybe they shouldn't be and they shouldn't be evaluated, because I do definitely feel like they should be looked at. Like, I definitely feel like there's probably quite a bit of waste. But that could be with any institution. In fairness, you can have so many look at a lot of businesses are going out of business right now. Potentially Macy's, they're on the rocks. We just saw Denny's, Joann Fabrics, Big Lots. Like, I can keep naming these places, and that's not your small mom and pop places that could be potentially struggling and fighting to keep a place here, right? And so at the end of the day, those are absolutely job losses. What happens with job losses? You start to kind of see things like housing crisis and stuff like that. It's kind of like a domino effect. The same thing I was talking about with my elderly neighbor, right? I said she spoke out this negative energy. She spoke negative about so many people, even people that were her best friends. She would tell me all this stuff that was really like private information. And maybe she felt like she could share that with me because I am a therapist. But at the end of the day, it was rare that she spoke something positive of these folks. And so that vibration and that movement, like I said, starts a domino effect. And I think that right now, as far as our politics goes, I think we are definitely seeing some of those domino effects there. So, you know, just keep that in mind. All right, so the next book I have is The Field. So The Quest for the Secret Force of the Universe. This is another one of my books that I really have enjoyed reading. It is very interesting to read about like the fields of energy and you know, how literally that, you know, you can see auras, and some people can, and you know, the vibrations that we put off. Have you ever, and I talk to my clients about this a lot, is have you ever walked into a room and felt like the person that maybe you have to meet or whatever, they're like a vampire? They literally suck the life out of you. Like, you literally dread going in to have to like meet with them. And it's not just because like maybe they hold a higher position than you or something like that, but it's because they're like, you don't even if you met them on the street, you wouldn't want to be friends with them type of person. That's what I'm talking about. Those people are life suckers. You know, they literally will drain you of your energy, and it is scientifically proven that these people can do that. And that's why we say don't let them take your light, don't let them take that energy from you, because they will absorb it and it will just build them up and give them a higher ego. So you have to really keep that in mind. You have to really guard yourself. You have to stay strong. Like I said, when me and Pumpkin, we were walking and we had that individual come up to us and kind of be like, you have to set your boundaries, and you have to stand by those boundaries, because if you don't, friends, what will end up happening is people will take advantage of you, people will walk all over you, and people will be the life suckers from you, and you will come home exhausted, tired, restless sleep. You will have so many issues that are under the surface. You could have like internal issues such as like heart conditions, stress, ulcers. There's just so many things, and that's another reason why we refer back to the garden, right? Because we have to find some peace, we have to find some good health, we have to find some nutrition, because if we don't, if we're not trying to like give ourselves some balance, we will end up teetering on one side or the other. Trust me, I know this. Listen, I walk the walk along with you guys. It is not an easy walk right now. Like, there's so many people that are calling me up saying, hey, I gotta talk to you. And I would say right now, as of this moment today, my biggest thing, like, I'm in the field of death and dying, and so we're gonna dive a little bit into death and dying, not in this video, but in, you know, an upcoming video. I'm gonna talk to you guys about some of that spiritual connectiveness and death, because I think it's important that we learn about that. I told you guys that in my heart, like, I feel like more death is coming, and how that death is going to present itself, I am not clear, but I don't foresee it in a positive light. Like, I don't think it's just gonna be a natural death. I think that we're gonna see some shocking things starting to occur, but maybe I'm just tripping. But I definitely want to put it out there so that you guys can prepare yourselves, for sure. And so, you know, we definitely, you know, like I said, we're definitely seeing a lot of change, we're definitely seeing a lot of stuff happening, and really my goal is just to encourage you guys to be finding that balance, you know, educate yourself. Like I said, I have so many people right now that their biggest thing is stress and how they can handle that stress in today's climate, especially like a political climate. I think a lot of people are stressed out, like I said, job loss, worrying about their homes, worrying about putting food on the table. I heard that eggs are going up like another 25%. Well, right now, I literally went back to the feed store today to try to pick up eggs after I went to our local Target, and they were out of eggs. So again, and they were actually out of all the organic, like, raw milk too. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, at $11.99 for a dozen eggs, you know, people are stressed out about that. Like, that's $1 an egg, if not plus tax, right? So that's $1 an egg for eggs, and you know, that's just incredible inflation. How are people with families supposed to do this? And like I said, with job losses, you know, on the rise, I think that that's just a lot of concern. People are uncertain about the direction in which our society for the United States is kind of headed, and I definitely think that there are some concerns. I'm not saying, I think what I'm trying to say is that it might be really difficult now, but the goal is hopefully that it won't be so hard later, but we can't predict that, right? And so I think we are so used to having the easy button, and we've been on roller skates just gliding along this entire time, and I think the tsunami wave is coming for us, and we are about to get smacked with it and taken under, and a lot of us are just not prepared. We're not prepared spiritually, we're not prepared mentally, we are not really prepared physically, because we haven't been exercising, we haven't been putting positive nutrition in, we've been eating a lot of fast foods, right? Or going out to eat. We're not learning how to make our own foods. And I'm not saying this is for everybody, but I'm saying that probably more people than not have become very used to the convenience of grocery stores. They've become used to the convenience of, you know, McDonald's and Burger King and Taco Bell and all these fast food places, which I am no exception to the rule in some regard. But this is a journey, and we have to move forward with educating ourselves in all these areas, and we have to find time to do it. So on your breaks, like when you're walking, maybe like you can download this in an audiobook, or you can download this in an audiobook, or when you come home, take 15 minutes, or like if you have a 15-minute break, take this to work with you. Start educating yourself, start studying these things so that you are prepared for whatever the future holds, and you can continue to maintain the light and be a positive person, and still, you know, potentially try to hold other people up, and that includes your family. All right, everyone, until next time, love one another, be kind, and I will see you guys out in the garden or the kitchen real soon.